Hey guys, it's Sarah here. So this is just a fun little video about something I read while searching for information about Winterfell crypt theories. Warning, it has no major relevance to the book or show or plot or anything. It's just for fun and it's a whole lot of tinfoil. Also, a lot of people have been wondering what Lyanna whispered to Ned in the season finale of season 6, Game of Thrones, and it sounded to me like she started with "his name is" and then it faded away. So with that, and the stuff I read on the Winterfell Crypt Theories pages, got me thinking maybe Jon isn't Jon's real name. I mean, it doesn't sound very Targaryen, does it? So I guess the reason that we didn't get that information, if that is really what Lyanna was whispering to Ned, is because I don't think the writers from the show want people to know all of the information yet. I don't think they want people to know that Jon's father was Rhaegar, because it would be too confusing to explain all of the R+L=J theory in that way, in the way they did it with the Vision with Bran. A lot of show watchers will not know who Rhaegar is. I mean, unless they were really paying attention in season 1 when they were talking about it. So I guess we'll have to wait until next season for an explanation from the show on that. But anyways, to the theory. So Jon is basically confirmed to be the son of Rhaegar and Lyanna, and whether or not you believe Rhaegar and Lyanna were secretly married, we know that Rhaegar believed one of his children would be the prince that was promised, and that his song would be fire and ice. Rhaegar's fire, Lyanna's the ice. So, if they believed that Jon was this child, wouldn't they have given him a more royal or Targaryen-sounding name if that was the case? Some people think that Ned changed Jon's name to Jon in order to protect his identity, which was part of the promise he made to Lyanna. Because if you think about it, why would Lyanna want to name her son Jon? Like, who does she really have in her life that would inspire that name? And why would Rhaegar want to name his son Jon? It just doesn't make sense. Here's a bit from a Q&A with George R. R. Martin. So a fan asked, since all of their mothers died, who gave Jon Snow, Daenerys Targaryen, and Tyrion Lannister their names? And George R. R. Martin said, mothers can name a child before birth, or during, or after, even while they are dying. Dany was most likely named by her mother, Tyrion by his father, and Jon by Ned. Note how he doesn't say his father. So maybe Ned shortened Jon's name, and his name was similar to something like Jaehaerys or some other Targaryen name like that, or he named him after Jon Arryn. This would be a good way to convince people that Jon was actually his bastard, because he's naming him after someone that means something to him and to Robert, so this would help to protect Jon. Alternatively, maybe Rhaegar named him Jon after Jon Connington, one of his best friends, and Ned went along with it. But as we see in the Targaryen family tree, they usually don't stray away from the typical Targaryen names. They don't usually name people after people who are not Targaryens. Some possible name ideas that have been floating around for Jon's real name include the traditional Aemon or Aegon. Green Eggs and, on Reddit, pointed out that on the family tree since Jaehaerys I, almost every generation of Targaryens has had siblings with the pairing of names Aegon and Aemon. In the books, we have Aegon Targaryen, who is also known as Young Griff, coming back to claim Westeros. He is supposedly the first son of Rhaegar, saved by Varys when he was just a baby. So it would be interesting if Jon's real name was Aemon to become another one of the sibling pairs. Some foreshadowing of this could include the time that when playing in the crypts with Robb, Jon would sometimes pretend to be Aemon the Dragon Knight. There's another part in the books where Jon says he's not Aemon Targaryen, referring to Maester Aemon at the Wall. But Jon Snow knows nothing, so maybe that he is Aemon Targaryen. Sharing a name with Maester Aemon would be a nice Easter egg, as they were quite fond of each other at the Wall, and it would also be kind of sad as well for them to never have known that they shared a family, because they both felt pretty alone. And I know this is show stuff, but if you go back and watch the part where Lyanna whispers to Ned, it really does look like she says his name is Aegon Targaryen or Aemon Targaryen, which would confirm that Lyanna and Rhaegar were married, if that's what she said. Take a look, it looks like it. Otherwise, Jon would have a bastard's last name. Or maybe the show will go with Aegon because that name is more common in the show for people to recognize. Or maybe Aemon will win. I think this might come up in the books as well. One last name suggestion that I've heard that actually makes sense is Viserys. Because Rhaegar initially planned to name his children after Aegon the Conqueror and his sisters Rhaenys and Visenya. And he's got Aegon and Rhaenys, but since his third child was a boy, the female version of Visenya could be Viserys. Like I said, it's just a short, fun little theory. It has no major impact on plot or story, but it's interesting to think about. I think that there could be something here, and I wanted to share it and see what you guys thought. Take care. More videos coming soon.